It's been a while since I have been live, and it has been crazy here. I mean, y'all, yeah, if you've seen some of my Facebook, y'all know it's been insane here. It's been crazy. So I thought I would come on and show you a New Year's Eve eye look and how to replicate that. And then I'm going to show you how to stack lashes. Some people have asked me about it. I'm going to show you some different lashes, but I'm going to show you how to stack them, which will be the first time I do this live, but it'll be fun. I'm going to show you how it's done, how it works, but that'll be the last thing I show you. First, I'm going to show you some eye looks. So hello, everybody. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Abigail. How are you? Let me know when you hop in. Give me a hello. Tell me hi. Drop me a unicorn below. If you're watching the replay, comment replay below. I love my replay watchers and love to thank you for coming and watching. If you don't know who I am, I'm Jennifer Stroman, hashtag the glitter CEO, and I love all things magical, unicorns, rainbows, glitter, you name it, I love it, glitter. Oh, look, Jordan, look at those earrings. So I absolutely love it, and my mission is to help unleash your inner sparkle. And so today I'm going to use some sparkly eyeshadows, and I'm going to use some colors to create a New Year's Eve eye look. So I'm just going to play with some makeup with y'all, and if you have questions, let me know and I'll answer them along the way. And we will do an eye look, and then we will do lashes and stacking them lashes. So for any matte colors, I am like stuck on this palette big time. It is the Urban Decay the Naked Ultimate Basics, and it is really good for my matte colors. So this is what I'm really going for when I'm doing the mattes. And then for my glitters, my favorite is this palette right here. I don't even know what this palette is called, but I love this palette. Like, it's the metals, because I mean, look at these colors. Like, I love these colors. Aren't they gorgeous? Like, love these colors. So for our look, I'm really going to focus on kind of the golds and the shimmer, and I do come over here, but this metals is like gorgeous. It comes in this metallic cover. So these are the ones that I really go for. I will say I kind of pulled from, these are obviously not like a direct sales, but I do pull from some direct sales companies too, and pull some of their lashes and lashes, some of their eyeshadows. Don't know why I said lashes, because I'm crazy. The other day I went ahead and pulled this out to do one of the looks that I was looking for, which is of course the Unique palette. And so I had pulled this out to use some of this, and sometimes I'll pull it for beaming. I really like this color too, so I do use some of this. And then one of my other favorite palettes, which is way more pigmented, is the Bare Metals, which is by Limelight, and it has some really pretty colors too. So I kind of pull from every direction, hey Tiffany, to create these looks. But today I'm going to focus on the metals and a little bit of the matte color. So let me show you an easy eye. I did this the other day and I really loved it, and it was kind of like for a Christmas look, and I thought, you know what, I really want to replicate this for New Year's Eve. So if you can't see me, like, let me know. I'm going to tell you a sad story. My Ricky broke, which is like, it's a lifeline. It's like everything. I'll show you what it is. So our Ricky, like the Ricky mirror, it's the most amazing thing in the world. It's slim. It goes with me everywhere. It's super easy to use. But if you hear it, I broke it. Don't ask me how I broke it. My husband said he'd fix it, but instead, before that, he was like, you know what, just order you whatever you want. Just order it. So I did. I ordered me one, but it won't be here for a couple more days. And I ordered me a rose gold, because I'm like obsessed with rose gold. So it's a really pretty shimmery color, and that's what I do my lives on. Hey Kayla, hey Jordan. So I normally do my lives on my Ricky, and so I'm used to being able to like look at my mirror and do my makeup like as I'm doing it, because with the Ricky, I'll show you, this is a little secret behind the scenes whenever I'm doing these. With the Ricky, it actually comes with an adapter for your phone, and it's magnetic. As you can see, I'm using a ring light now. So I love this because I can actually be looking at my phone and doing this, and I don't have that right now. So I'm going to try to do this looking in the mirror and looking at the camera and trying to do it in every direction. So I already have a little bit of eyeshadow, not much. What I did was I used the Nudie, which is this one right here, and I just put a little coating over my eyelids before I went to the soccer game. So I'm just going to coat a little more on there so that I just have a base to work with. So just have that everywhere. And there you go. So I am going to show you one of my favorite little looks that I did the other day that is really good for New Year's Eve. And then I'm going to show you kind of a smoky eye, give you two comparisons, one with some gold and one with a smoky eye. And then we're going to stack. And I'm going to stack lashes, Jordan. I'm going to do it right here. So I was a little bit jelly, but I was happy that she did it. Jordan stacked lashes. I showed you her beautiful picture the other day. I was super like jealous of her doing it because I've been wanting to do it, but it turned out so great. So I am going to stack the lashes for you. So what I'm going to do is, I really don't know what I'm going to do. What do I want to do for the, okay, I'm going to come in and I'm going to drop this little thing. I'm going to use Faith, which is kind of almost like a brown, and I'm doing the matte. I am going to probably, I'm using Gigi, so I'm probably going to do it with Miss. I'm going to do what you did, Miss and Gigi. But I'm actually going to ask, like if somebody wants me to do something else, I will. I might even do, the only thing is I don't really want to do the foam ink because those are harder to stack and those are so thick. And so it'd be really good for those who want like a ton of drama, but I'm not that girl. So it would, I don't know. And I'm not really good with the thick bands, so if you were to stack the foam ink, they would look really nice, and they're very big, but I don't like thick bands, so it'd probably bother me, where others, you know, that wear them all the time, it wouldn't bother them. It'd be really good for a drag queen. Like, if you stacked those for a drag queen, they'd be, like, obsessed. Let's see, what did I miss? I'm going to have to watch. I just started, Catherine. I'm doing an eye look, but I'm going to go ahead and do this on both eyes just because this is a good base to start with. So I did my all over with one lighter color, and then I'm kind of just doing a little bit in the edges with this kind of a brown shade. But this will be good. This is a good way to get my eye ready for a smoky eye and really good for the gold. So what I really like to do is I basically just build up. So I'm going to do color by color and kind of build up to that look. So I'm probably going to do the gold on this side. So let's start there. So I have a brush that is one of my favorite brushes. I don't remember where I got it. I need to find out because I'm going to need one eventually. But it is kind of slanted, and I love it because it's perfect for, like, it sits right on the eye. It's perfect. So I'm going to use Glory, this gold right here, and I'm going to do a little bit of that in a minute, but first I'm going to do Glory. These are very highly pigmented too, but I'm going to come in here on the edge, and I'm trying to look at y'all more than I am my mirror. I can kind of see what I'm doing, but the phone's kind of far away. So what I'm doing right now, I don't know if you can even see it. I can see it. It's starting to turn really pretty gold. I'm doing a gold right where I just went. So I'm doing a little bit of a line kind of out and over, kind of a V. It's kind of going up. Right here is where the biggest, the most pigment should go. So you always kind of start on the edge and then bring it in. So I'm just really starting on the edge and bringing it in, kind of like a windshield wiper. Just go back and forth, and you'll see that I've just kind of built a little bit of gold right there. And all I'm going to do is just kind of build that in to where I'm satisfied with the gold look. So I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to use Bass, which is a little darker, and I'm going to put that in there. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go right there on the edge, kind of tap it in, and then blend it in. You always want to add, I mean, the majority of your pigment should be on that outer edge. It really gives a nice look whenever you don't want it all in the front. You don't, you know, like, you really want to put it on the edge, and it gives the illusion that your eyes are bigger too. And it really draws people to the eyes if you do this the right way. Which most of the time, like when you do an eye, just think of the V. Like I've shown y'all in other videos. I'm going to use this because it's flat. But basically you want to do the V look. You want to do from here and then across. So I am going to do something on the lid, and I'm going to do something over here. But the majority of the work is always right there on the outer corner and in. So I'm adding this darker bass color just to darken it up a little. So there's the gold. And I'm gonna get a little more dramatic with it because I'm doing this live with you and because I'm doing this as like a New Year's Eve look. So I'm going to actually take bass and I'm doing it on the outside of this and I'm gonna bring this down. I'm going to look on my mirror when I'm doing this and I'm used to looking straight up. So you're gonna have to give me a second here. I'm going underneath my eye with this. See that? So I'll try to get closer. Now I did this really pretty look with these golds the other day. So that's really what I'm going to do is do this gold. And then I'm going to show you a smoky eye. If you hang in there with me. Hang in there with me. Hey Gretchen, hey Jenny, how are y'all? So that is just like my starting. So then what I'm going to do is let me see where my other one is that I liked. I liked this a lot. This is where I pulled, I really like the gold Jordan. I only have Erica's, or what did you say about Erica? This is where I pulled a Limelight. I did this just because I like to darken it up just a tad. But this Bare Metals, this last one, has like a gold, almost like a black. And so I just tap it very gently because I don't want it to be too black. And I go right there in the edge. And I just add a little bit of darkness. Can you see where it's getting a little darker? I don't know if you can see that. So it's getting a little darker right there on the edge. So then I just kind of blend it over and I've darkened it up so that it's still gold, but it's just a tad darker. And I didn't want to go like black. So I use this one because it does have like the shimmer in it and it's a good color to use right there in the corner. And you don't have to do that. You could actually, one of the things that you could do, just a cheater, just so you know, is you could use that same color that you just used and get your brush wet. Hey Lisa, and if you got your brush wet, it would make it darker. So you could do it that way too. So just one of those things. And now I've got it kind of dark on the inside, you know, and I'm trying to figure this out. So what I like to do, I go back over with a little bit of the matte and kind of pull this in, blend it just a tad, and then what I'm gonna do is add a little more shimmer on my lid. So I'm going to use, let's see, which brush do I want to use? I'm going to use the same brush that I used on the crease. I'm just going to clean it off with if you don't have one of these, you need one of these. I love these things. It is a color changer. You can get them on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. But if you are using a shade of color with your brushes and then you want to change your color, you just rub this across it and then your brush is good to go for another color. So it doesn't leave any residue. I love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back through, let's see, I'm going to go with Nudie again, the same color I started with. It's a light color, and I'm going to come right here on the top and I'm going to blend it. And I'm just kind of blending this color and a little, same thing on the inside. I'm just going to blend. That's all I'm doing. And this time I'm blending outward. And sometimes, a lot of times, I go ahead and I blend it out and I use my color changer to blend it out. So that way, what I do is, like, if I'm doing this and I'm picking up extra pigment, I'll take my brush and I'll run it across my color changer and then go back over it so that it's like using a clean brush. Super easy. But I don't want it to be too heavy, so I like to blend it out and make it nice. So the brush that I love to use for what I'm doing next is really a fat brush. It's kind of a fatter brush. I have a couple of them, but for this, what I want to do is I use the gold, whichever gold I want to use, whether it's Glory. I love this twisted one right here. And I'm going to tap a little bit. I'm using the twisted. And I'm going to tap this in right on the inside. So basically what I'm doing is where your eye is closed. So you really don't see it. So where your eye is closed before the crease, that's where I'm putting this gold. I'm using the twisted. And I'm just tapping this in. And then I kind of run it across. But I first just kind of tap it in. And then run it across the lid. Now there's a reason I do this. I've already done the darker gold and now I'm doing a lighter because you don't usually see that part of, well, for me, you don't really see that part of my eye unless my eye is closed. And I don't go walking around like with people with my eye like, oh, look at my eye. Like You know, I'm normally just talking, so you really don't see it unless I'm like this. You know, I'm sorry. If I'm talking to someone, I'm talking to someone like this. But then if I am animated or I open, then all of a sudden you see this gold pop out, which is really pretty. So I do like to get in there and add a little touch to that. Okay. So then what I like with this too is to come in, I actually use a smaller brush. So I'm going to use a smaller brush. I don't know. I'm going to have to go see if they have one like this, but this just happens to be one of my favorite brushes. I got it from Mary Kay. It is the only thing that I own from Mary Kay, but it is a smudging brush. It's itty bitty, and I really like it. So I use this smudging brush for the inside of my eye. I'm going to try to do this, but I got to do it on in front of the mirror. I can't do this in the phone. And I like to add the gold right there on the inside. Mainly on the bottom part, but on the inside. So there's gold. Y'all seeing, whoops, sorry, I'm kicking my ring light. Are y'all seeing the gold? Comment gold below if you see the gold, if it's visible to you. This is very gold, very pretty. It matches the earrings pretty much. And then what I tend to do at this point, especially if I'm going to do this for like New Year's Eve, is I'm going to go in and I'm going to darken this up a little. So I'm going to use this ground, which is a darker, almost like charcoal black, but it has a blue color to it. I don't know if you can see that. It has like a bluish hint to it. So I'm going to use this, and I'm using that same smudger brush, and I'm going to go into the edge, and I'm darkening this up just a little more, but this time I'm doing it with the darker shade, kind of a black. And now with this, what I'm doing is smudging into the crease. So it's right above where I just put all that pretty gold on my lid. I'm kind of giving it a line across it. So I've got dark gold on top, light gold, and then I have a nice crease in the middle. See that? The same shade that I'm using, I'm going to pull down underneath my lid, underneath my lashes, and smudge it on the bottom. And I pretty much pull it almost all the way to the inside. So I pull it to about right here in the eye, and then the rest is gold. So there is a smudgy gold. Now this should not be, I mean, I have some fallout because I'm kind of trying to do this and can't really see it. I'm in front of the mirror, but this should not be like gaudy or ugly or anything like that. It should be very elegant. So the more you play with it, you'll kind of figure this out. And it's okay if it's too dark or anything like that. You can always soften it up. If you feel like it's too dark, grab you a brush to blend with. This is one of my favorite ones, or I'll just use and just blend it. So if you have an issue, just blend and soften it up if you don't like how dark it is. But we're talking New Year's Eve, girls. Like, you should be a little more dramatic on New Year's Eve. I'm just saying, you should be a little more dramatic. I cannot help but reach for, if I can find it, what I do with it, I cannot help but reach for this. I don't know if you have a suggestion. I would love to hear your suggestion. But for underneath the eye, I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but I have for years used the same eyeliner, and I probably won't change unless I find one that's exactly like it. And it happens to be Unique, but it is their pen. And it's one of the only things I use with Unique too, but it is for my waterline. I think because it just glides on so well, and most of the eyeliners that I've used, it almost like sticks, and I have to sit there and force it across, so I don't use it. So it's the only thing I use, but I use it for underneath the eye, and love it. Like, I won't use anything else unless I find something that works. But every eyeliner I've ever used for my waterline underneath the eye, it like sticks, and I'm like, I can't. So this is, I use the Unique. As you can see, it's not supposed to be this little. So I use it all the time. And then for the top, I actually use, I'm not done with my eyeshadow, but I actually use a liquid eyeliner. And I have several. And right now my go-to, so this is what Unique's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be big like this, but I have itty bitties because I use it all the time. There's a couple of them that I've tried. And right now, I do like, there's the matte, which is actually a gel. I don't know if you've used that gel liner. Love that one. But right now what I'm using is a Limelight one, and it's because of the pen, the way the tip is. I really like the tip. So before I do my eyeliner, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my eye, and I'm going to lighten up the inside and under the brow. So I think I have a tendency, because I do have hooded eyes, they tell you, and you can do it however you wish, but they tell you with hooded eyes that you really don't want shimmer underneath the brow. It's totally up to you whether you want shimmer. If you're a shimmer girl, go with shimmer. But I tend to go back and go ahead and use a lighter matte color for right under the brow. And I just barely use any, but I use it right under the brow to kind of make it a little more matte. Okay, it's just a little matte right under the brow. And the same shade I will use right on the inside of my eye. Can you see where it kind of highlighted it a little bit? So I use that right there. So I still have my gold under my eye, but I have a little bit of a highlight there. Okay. But you can shimmer it all you want. This is just how I do it. So then from there, I'm going to do my eyeliner. And I'm going to show you a quick smoky eye, very quick smoky eye on this side. And then we're going to do stacking lashes. So this, I already have some eyeliner on. So I'm just going to kind of glide back over it. And this I can't look at you and do. I got to look at my mirror. Sorry, guys. It's not even going to attempt to try to do this in front of a phone. I'm just going to do it right here on the mirror. I'm not going to wing this out either. You could totally wing this out. If you're going to use a dramatic lash, I suggest you wing it. You wing it, girl, and you wing it good. One tip that I will give you for eyeliner, if you are not familiar with liquid eyeliner or you have trouble with liquid eyeliner, hey Adrienne, I haven't seen you in forever, girl. How are you? I'm sorry, I'm not looking at messages. I just saw her pop up. I love shimmer too. So if you're not really familiar with liquid eyeliner or you have struggled with it, what I suggest you do is use an eyeshadow. And I'll show you, like, use one that's got like a brush like this, and you'll put some dark eyeshadow and put it across your eyelid, and that'll give you kind of a line to follow with your eyeliner. So it's a really good tip if you struggle with that. So I have a little bit of a base, a little brown over here. So I'm gonna come back over here and we're gonna darken this up just a tad. And I'm actually gonna use my matte for this one, and I will add some shimmer, but I'm gonna use my matte to come in and make this a smoky eye. So I'm gonna use this gray, which is actually called Magnet, and I'm going to come in and just swirl it into the edge and pull it over. This has a lot of pigment too, so you have to be very careful. Like, I tap it and bring it in and slowly bring it in. I have a tendency to like not pick up a lot because I'm so used to the fact that it has so much, and I don't want to bring over too much. And now I'm really, where I'm rubbing is right along the bone, so that where your lid is and there's that bone, I'm going into that line. And I really just kind of like set my brush and run it across it and let it do its thing. Okay, so you can see there's a little bit of brown. I'm going to go ahead and add, this one's Blackjack. I'm going to use a little bit of black. And I always tap first to see how much pigment I've got. And then as you can see, I'm going into kind of a circular motion and then bring it over. There's a couple ways that you can do a smoky eye. This one to me is the easiest, but some people may beg to differ and say that the easiest way to do a smoky eye is to grab some black and literally put it on your eyelid. A lot of people do it. They just do it right across, and that's fine if that's your thing. I'm going to bring this down. I know a lot of people who love to do that and just make it dark. I'm not one that likes that just because of the way my eyes are shaped. It looks too dark and just crazy. I can't do it. So I pulled some gray down. So now I've got the gray under this eye. And one thing I will tell you is if you don't like the line, like right here, you can see where there's kind of, you can clean that up very easily. I'm going to show you how. So this is a good smoky eye. If I want to go darker, I can go darker. I'm going to add just a little bit more to it. Make it just a tad darker. Now there is some smoky eye right there. And add a little underneath. Oh, you are? I gotta see pictures. You gotta send me pictures, Adrienne. Okay, so I've got kind of my smoke going on. And what you can do to soften this up or to blend it is I use my little color changer and I run it across. And then I go back with the brown that I originally used, which is Faith, and I kind of go along the top very gently. Like I'm barely like, I don't even know how to explain, like it's barely like touching like this. So I barely touch it and I just kind of blend it up. And that's that brown, and that helps blend, and then I pull it down. So it's not so harsh. Okay, so there's my smoky eye. This is the easiest way for you to clean up your mess, is just come across with your blender full. If you're doing your makeup, it's usually already wet because you just did your foundation. So use your blender full and just clean it up. Just like that. Super easy. I'm going to come back in, same thing with above the eye, right under the eyebrow. I'm going to use Blow for this one though. It's a brighter color, as you can tell. And use that. And then I'm going to use it for right inside the eye. This one's very bright. I like this one. And the only thing that I would do different with this eye, because I'm going to do my eyeliner real quick, and I'm going to do, and then I'm going to come back over the lid with a shade. And there's a couple things that you can do with over the lid. You could go ahead and, let me touch this up. There we go. You could, I'm just dropping stuff everywhere. What did I drop? Oh, I dropped lashes. I'll have to crawl under there and get them. You could put a lighter color, or you could do a dark, or you could do a gold. Sometimes what I'll do is, oh, I love this. I'll show you. I'm a glitter person, right? So I like Danessa, and she has these beautiful shades. And so I might like use this and use some glitter and put it on your eyelid. That'd be really good for New Year's Eve. Golds are good for New Year's Eve. I'm trying to find, or here, this one is another one that she does, and it's called In Light, and it's very light. So I might use this one. Let's use this one. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you what I would do. There is there's several companies that do them. You can pick them up. You can use any brush, honestly. But I know that Unique has them for their, what were they called? It was the pigments that were kind of like, I don't think Jordan's still on here. Those little pigments that were like a gel. And they had these brushes that I'm sure they still sell them, but it's flat. So I like that, and I like to get it wet with a primer. And that's what I use to pat in my glitter. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to pat this in to the eyelid. Woohoo! Me and my glitter. Bam! Now, there's glitter glues, and you can do all of that. For me, this is the easiest, and it's not really a glitter that I need to glue in. I do use glitter glue when I need it, but this is just really an eyeshadow that has that glitter look, and so I just do it on the eyelid. And so once that dries, because I used it as a wet shadow, once that dries, it's very pretty. Like you can see it right now, but when I have my eyes closed, you can't really see it unless I'm moving around. So there's another one of those that it's kind of the illusion, which is very pretty. Love it. Love it. So there's your smoky eye and your gold eye. I need to do my eyeliner on here. Let me put this eyeshadow away before I break it. Drop it. Let me move that over. I've already dropped lashes. I'm going to have to crawl under and get them. So this one already has a little bit of eyeliner on it. I love smoky eye look. Isn't that pretty? But I'm going to come back over and just add a little more since I've been playing eyeshadow with it. Go back over my line with my eyeliner. All right, so far, do you like the gold? The gold, or do you like the smoky eye? The gold or the smoky eye? What is your vote? Which you could do this totally more dramatic. If you wanted to do it darker, you wanted to add more gold, you could do all of these things. But there are those. I will have to show you which one do you want to know. Like the In Light is Danessa. That's the glitter that I used. So I love the smoky eye too, guys. I'm trying to see if I can grab these lashes. Okay, so I'm gonna, you know what? I think I'm going to apply one and then stack one. How's that? I'm gonna apply one and then stack one so you can see the difference. Does that sound good? I think I'm going to, let's see which one of these is which. When I knock stuff over, I like messed up my lashes too to where I don't know. I laid these out. They're not in the little thing like you're supposed to. Thank you, Holly. This one, and it's supposed to be very shiny and bright for New Year's Eve. And actually with this gold, I would probably go back. I'm going to go back in. Which one is this that I used? I used this one. I'm going to add a little more gold. Just because I can. I don't know if you can even see how pretty this is because it is like really, really gold. Really shiny gold. Pretty. But you can go in and make it darker and add a little more emphasis to it if you wanted. And I like being able to pull it underneath and just give it that pop. This is very, very gold. Okay, back to what I was saying. I think when I was doing my lashes, I kind of messed these up and moved them, so I don't know which lash is which. So I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, this one. So I'm gonna put this one on. So how about I do Gigi and then I'll show you stacking. How's that? Sound good? So that way you can see a normal Gigi lash and then I'll stack Gigi and Miss and show you what I'm talking about. So let me grab a, did I have a package of Gigi? I have yet to try Bella. Bella is so pretty, and Bella was actually created for those who wear glasses. Here's Bella, who wear glasses, or actually like cancer patients or any of those that are losing lashes, or you have thyroid issues and you lose lashes, or you know, for whatever reason. These are actually really good. They're very natural, very small. I'm trying to find my, hold on. Here's a Gigi. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna put on my eyes, is Gigi. But I'm gonna stack with Miss. So these are the two I'm gonna stack. So Miss is actually like maybe a number 2, number 3, somewhere in there. And this is like a 3 or a 4 in dramatic. But because they're silk, they have a smaller band. So it's easier to work with and maneuver and stack. So when you get into the faux mink, I'll show you real quick. So here is Gigi, and it's been used, so it has a little makeup on it. The band is very thin, okay? But it's also very flexible because it's a cotton band. And they're just one layer. I don't know if you can see that. It's just one layer. It's just like a, I can't even do this. It's just like one little layer of lashes, okay? But then when you get into the faux mink, their band, let me see if I can put these side by side. The band is larger. Can you see that? It's much larger, and it's very 3D. So when you see it side next to something, it flares up and it's very fluffy and pretty. So the lash is just very, very different, and it's harder. It's not harder to stack. It's just bulkier on the eye. So let's do this. I'm going to show you how you should be applying your lashes. I'm using an applicator. I always have a hard time doing this because I want to look down. I put this on the lash like I'm going to apply it. Typically, before I've done this, I've laid this on the lashes to see if it was the right size, and I've trimmed it. I've already trimmed it. This is one I've used. And so now I'm going to add glue. You're going to add glue to the bottom section, the section that goes onto the eyelashes. Do not add it on the top part that goes on your lid. Add it to the bottom part so that you can apply it, okay? So we're going to add this glue. And do you like the gold or the smoky eye? This glue, I have to say, I used to use Duo and it would pull my lashes out. This is very gentle, but it's actually really, I don't know why this is doing this. Not now. We don't need to do that right now. My phone's notifying me of something. It's very gentle. Let me put some glue on here so I can talk to you about that while this dries. So this, you just need a little bit of glue on there, not a whole lot. Don't go crazy now. You don't need to goop it on there. And in fact, sometimes if I goop, I go back and I run the brush across it to kind of get some off. So that's okay if you do that. So the glue goes on a very translucent blue. And then we're gonna let that dry. But it's super gentle. So it hasn't pulled out any of my lashes, and it lasts forever. And I've tested this sucker out. When I flew to Boise and everything, I wore these lashes, I think it was like 20 hours. And I slept on the plane, and they've held up. So I know they stick. So I'm gonna let this dry. I usually have a fan going, but it's kind of cold, so I don't have it going. So I usually have a fan going, and I'll put it next to the fan and let it just, dry. But you can shake it, you can do whatever. About this time, this is when I'm flipping through Facebook, and I'm like, what am I missing? What did I need to catch up on? And I kind of do little things like that while I'm letting it dry. Are you ready to see them stacked? I'm excited. I'm gonna show you how to get them stacked. But first I want to show you what this would look like with just one lash versus 2 lashes. Can't wait to show you them stacked though. All right. Tiffany, you're going to like it. I know you're going to like it. Okay. I'm going to try to do this where you can see this, but hey B, how are you? You're going to come in from the top to bring your lash in. So you come in like this. You don't ever put your lash in like this. You're going to put your lash on like this. And I'm doing this in front of the mirror, not in front of the camera. So hopefully you can see it. And you just set it down and let it go. So I'm going to come back in and just check to make sure it's there and in place. And I always check the edge and make sure it's where it needs to be. Then I flip it over to the other side of the applicator and I tap it in and make sure that it is in place. Now, the reason that eyeliner is so important to me is because it will cover up any flaws. So if you happen to not go as close to the lash line as you'd like, it will cover that up. But I'm pretty good about just popping them on. So there is Gigi. Now let's stack. Are you ready to stack? While this dries a little bit, I'm going to start stacking and show you what it's going to look like. So I'm going to use Miss and Gigi, like I said. So we've got Gigi, we've got Miss. Hey ladies who are coming in, I'm going to stack some lashes and show you what that's all about. If you want to do mascara on your lashes before you do falsies, it's totally okay. I have some on, very thin layer. If you want to do it on the bottom only, that's cool too. I usually don't wear mascara when I do my falsies unless my lashes need it. And what I mean by that is my lashes are super light, so sometimes they seem way too blonde and I don't want them to be blonde with the dark lashes. So I always go in and use some mascara. So all I'm doing now, this should be completely dry at this point, is I'm just kind of tapping my lashes together to make sure they stick. And that's good. So there's my Gigi. So let's do stacking. I'm going to stack a Gigi with a Miss. So Gigi with the Miss. Gigi are very structured. You see that? Like they're very like in place. And then these are kind of fluffy. So we're going to see how this works out. Let me open this up. I don't think I have a Miss out. I was looking earlier. So I'm going to open a new pack. So I'm going to have to measure this on my eyes so you'll see what you do when you measure. So I'm going to take this lash off from the edge, kind of peel it up on the edge. The glue sometimes is like really stuck, so you got to be very careful just to pull it off on the edge. And then same thing on the other. I always check, make sure there's not too much glue there, but you got to be careful. Don't be trying to pull the lash apart. So it's good. So I'm going to set this on my eye. I got to pull this glue off. Little like dab of glue like almost in the middle of the lash, which is really weird. Okay, got it off. I'm gonna set this on my eye and figure out sizing. Normally the Miss is perfect on me, so I usually don't have to do anything with Miss. So that is good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to stack this with my Gigi. You can do it either way. There is no wrong way. This is totally a preference thing. It's totally how you want to do it, but you can put Miss on top or Gigi on top. So I'm going to sit here and play with these for just a second and see what I like better. So let's see. This is Miss on top, and you really aren't going to see much of a difference. So there's Miss on top. And then if I put Miss underneath, which is probably Miss going to be on top because it's kind of thinner, a little bit thinner. So I'm going to put Miss on the bottom. So there's Miss on the bottom. You can sit here and try to play with it and figure out what you want. So I want Miss on top. Okay, so I know I want that. So what I'm gonna do to stack these is, again, this is a preference, and you can go to YouTube and you can YouTube this all you want and you're gonna get all kinds of different answers. It really is a preference thing. It's really up to you how you wanna do your lashes. So don't let anybody tell you what you should and shouldn't do. But If you want, you can go ahead and apply these to your eyes and do 2 different stacks. Totally cool. I don't do that. What I do is I go ahead and apply glue to the bottom. So these are my mists. I'm going to apply some glue to the bottom. And again, this is Jen's way. This is not the correct way in any form of the word. It's Jen's way, and you choose how you want to do yours. So I'm going to add a little bit. Hey, Ashley, how are you? And I really like this smoky eye now that y'all like look up and see it. I'm adding a little bit of glue to my mist. So I'm going to let this dry for a few seconds. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this on top of my GG. So I'm going to stack them. That's how I'm going to do it. So the 2 bands are going to come together, and then we're going to apply it to the eye, and you're going to see the difference. So I've got my gold eye with my GG alone, and then I'm going to have my smoky eye with both lashes together. So this is almost tacky. It's almost ready. How are y'all doing? Are y'all ready for New Year's? Are you going to do like a gold look for New Year's, or are you going to do a smoky eye with some glitter? Isn't this so pretty? I love this. It's so pretty. It's pretty. You know what's missing? Some red lips. I need some red lips with this look. Yes, I do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently lay my mist on top of my GG. I'm going to try to do this where y'all can see. It's kind of hard. And it's okay because it'll still move around. It is tacky, but you're just going to add them, blend them together onto the band. Okay, and they're together. So then what I personally, you can use your fingers and you can squish the bands together all you want. I like to use a little applicator and kind of squish them. I haven't done it with this. This is the first time I've ever done it with red aspen lashes, just so you know. I'll just be very transparent. I have not done it. Jordan was the first. I was so happy when she did it because I told her I'd been wanting to, but I squeeze the band together with this because it's a really amazing applicator anyways, and so I can squish it. It's wider than your normal tweezers. So squish it and get that band stuck together. So now I've got a stacked lash. So I can kind of see where I'm going to put this, how I'm going to put this, and now it's time to add some glue to this lash and get this on my eye. So add my little applicator. Let's add some glue. Let's add some glue, ladies, and see how this turns out. So you've got the GG, and then you've got this one that's got the GG and the mist. All right, I'm adding the glue. Okay. What are y'all doing for New Year's? We're going to our lake house. I haven't got all the details yet. That's something I got to work on. We got to figure out like who's bringing what, who's coming, who's bringing fireworks. That's always the biggest expense. Does anybody else do their own fireworks? Like that's the biggest expense that you've got. Okay. I've got an even layer of glue on here. So I'm going to let this dry for a few seconds until it gets tacky. Hey Desiree, hey Chris. We are going to, you're going to be hanging with the boys. I'm going to go to the lake and hang out with my family. It'll probably be my brother and his girlfriend and my mom and dad, that sort of thing. Go to our lake house. We'll probably stay the night too. That way we don't have to travel and we can do as we wish. But fireworks are so expensive. Do you do fireworks, Tiffany? Fireworks are always so expensive. And I'm like, ugh, I don't want to be the one to always bring them on our own. Like everybody's got to pitch in. They get really expensive. And if we have, and then it depends, like, right? It depends on who's there. Like if it's the little kids, you can get away with the little sparklers and the little pop things, and you can get away with like cheap stuff. But when it's the adults or it's me, let's be honest, like me, I'm like, where are the fireworks? Like I want to see the boom and the sparkle, and you know, like they gotta be good. I like them. Okay, this is about tacky and good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. Again, you're not going in like this, you're going downward, and I'm going to get this applied to my lash if I can without any issues. It is stuck to my applicator, so I'm gonna have to work it in. That happens too, where it gets, I put it too close to the applicator. Let me see, I gotta get closer to my mirror for a second. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for just a second because it's gotta get a little sticky and stuck. And then I can kind of squeeze it together. But right there you can already see there's Gigi and there's Gigi and Miss. Big difference. Big difference. Only on the 4th? Really? That is insane. Where do you live in California? And I know every state is different because there's some states that you can do fireworks all year round. We do them. You can get them from, it's always like my birthday, like the 22nd of December through January, and then you can get them for July 4th. So those are the two times that you can do it. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to squeeze this together and make sure that these are intact and ready to go. Still a little tacky because it's sticking to my applicator. There we go. That's why you wait, because you don't want it to get stuck to the applicator and then it like rips the lash off. You don't want to do that. Are you in Anaheim? Where are you? I like Anaheim, by the way. Okay, so here is the Gigi and here is Gigi and Miss stacked. Do you see the difference? Tell me, what do you like? So do you like the gold with the Gigi? Or do you like the smoky eye with the Miss and Gigi stacked? So what do you like? Do you like it? What do you think? I will tell you that you can tell, like you can tell that it's thicker, like you can feel that it's thicker. Once I get like used to them, because I usually sit here and tap it a few times until I'm like, okay, it's good to go. And once I feel good about it, then I usually don't notice the lash on, but I will tell you that because they're stacked, they are heavier. So you are going to deal with that where it's just a tad heavier. Like I can't feel my Gigi on at all. So there is, hey Erica. So there is the stacked, the smoky eye stacked. There's Miss and Gigi versus your Gigi and gold. You do have to try it, Renee. Like, hello, like, isn't that freaking gorgeous? So there you go. It's stacked. It's easy. The Jen way. And I got my little gold going on. So all I need is some red lips and I'm good to go for New Year's, right? Like, hello, holla. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you got some value out of this. If you did, hit the share button. Feel free to follow me to get any other tips and tricks along the way. But this is what I'm going to leave you with. Happy New Year. I'm sure I'll be on before then, but there you go. There's your stacked. If you have questions, get in my inbox. Bye, guys.